What is up, you guys? My name is Raining Fire, and today I am bringing you something much demanded by basically everybody around me. Today we are doing a Fire Mage guide. We are going to be going through talents, glyphs, macros, rotation, stat priority, and I think that's it. Tips and tricks as well. So, without further ado, let's get started. First step is your talents. What I use is we got Evanesce, Blazing Speed, and Ice Flows. Usually only one other talent is good here, and that's Ice Flows, but for Fire Mages, no. You want Blazing Speed because it allows you to have a little bit more control and makes you able to kite a little bit better. Second tier, we got Alter Time, Flame Glow, and Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier is crap. Yeah, it does absorb a good amount of damage, but Flame Glow, what it does is it protects you with fiery energy, absorbing up to 1k damage from each attack against you, up to 20% of each attack. That is massive. That is way bigger than Ice Barrier, and with Ice Barrier you have to keep reapplying it, and it can be spell stolen. Flame Glow is always active. It's a passive. So, Ice Barrier is out of here. The only other one that you're able to use here is Alter Time. I see other mages using it, but I don't use it myself. I prefer the extra defense. Tier 3, we got Ring of Frost, Ice Ward, and Frostjaw. These are, depending on your circumstance. Ring of Frost, no, doesn't really do it. Ice Ward, you want this when fighting melees. It's also what I use on a daily basis for my survival set. So yeah. Also Frostjaw, you're going to want to replace Ice Ward with Frostjaw when fighting casters or hunters. I take it when fighting hunters because it's a range freeze and it also silences them. It's good against Beastmasters. So yeah, that's that. Now, fourth tier, Greater Invisibility, Cauterize, Cold Snap. Cold Snap. No doubt, you want Cold Snap. It's a giant heal, and it's kind of what makes me, it's what gives me my survival. Excuse me. Tier 5, Living Bomb, Unstable Magic, Blast Wave. Blast Wave is huge damage, you want that no matter what. Just take that. Now, tier 5. Wait. No, I think that's tier 6. Yeah, tier 6. Mirror Image, Rune of Power, and Incanter's Flow. Most of the pro mages take Incanter's Flow, and I'm not pro, so. But, this is my tip. Mirror Image. This gives me a little bit more control. With Incanter's Flow, there's no control in your burst damage. Mirror Image, you pop this, then you're bursting. That's it. In Counterflow, what this does, it basically stacks up to 5 times, and once it's stacked up fully, it gives you your most damage. But basically, what it does for me is, it's never really ready when I need it to be ready. It's never at the top when I need it to be at top. Last tier. I don't know. Prismatic Crystal and Meteor. Prismatic Crystal or Meteor, that's it. I take Meteor, because again, a little bit more control on my burst damage. But, really good mages can use Prismatic Crystal to full effect. I can't figure out how. But I am practicing with it. So, it's up to you guys that too. Now to the glyphs. A lot of these are circumstance glyphs. For my survival set, I've got Glyph of Spell Steel, Glyph of Regenerative Ice, and Glyph of Dragon's Breath. When fighting melee, you're going to want Glyph of Ignite over Spell Steel because they got no buffs to steel. When fighting casters, you're going to want Frostjaw and Glyph of Spell Steel. So, recap. Melee, Ice Ward, and Glyph of Ignite. Casters, Glyph of Spell Steal, and Frostjaw. Also, when you're in arenas, you're also going to want Glyph of Polymorph. I'd probably replace Spell Steal / Ignite or Dragon's Breath. Now, rotation. Basically, first things first, you want your Mage buff. It gives you 10% spell power and 5% critical strike. First thing you want to do is Scorch. Scorch until you get a crit proc. Now, every time you Scorch, you get a stack of ignition if you got PvP gear. What this does, it decreases the cast time of your fireball and increases its critical strike chance by 15%. So, Scorch until criticals. Now, when you got a Pyroblast, you're going to want a Fireball and Pyroblast at the same time. That builds up your Ignite over here it's a pretty big dot. Also, Blast Wave whenever possible. So, recap. Scorch. Probably 1 to 2, maybe 3 times. Double proc, Fireball, Pyroblast. Pyroblast again. Blast Wave. Now Combust. This basically doubles my Ignite dot, and basically it just burns even harder than my Ignite. Also, it resets the cooldown on your Eruption. So, when I'm fighting, this is multiple target rotation. Scorch. Get your proc. Fireball. Pyroblast. Blast Wave. Combust. Then Eruption again. What that does is it basically spreads your dots to all targets, including your Combust. So whenever you Eruption, or what is this? Inferno Blast. Whenever you Inferno Blast, it spreads your dots to every target. Your Ignite, your Pyroblast, your Combust. So let me show you.
That spell isn't ready. I can't cast that.
If there was enemies nearby, they would all have all 3 of these dots. Burst rotation. Basically, you want 3 stacks of your heating up and your Pyroblast. So let's get some of that. There we go. You're going to want to mirror image, use whatever potion, meteor,
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that.
and fireball,
That
pyroblast.
spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Then use your pyroblast whenever it comes. I also got time warp on my burst macro, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Whenever your ignite is at its largest, combust.
That's still recharging.
These are lower level targets, but you do pretty insane damage. I'm just gonna let you guys watch this damage. Just from these freaking mirror images, you do a lot of freaking damage. Macros. They're kind of hard to explain, but I'll do my best. This is my burst macro. Whenever I drop my meteor,
I can't cast
and I
that
press
yet.
this button, it pulls out my mirror images and activates my time warp. It also uses my Dranic intellect potions. I don't have any of that. And my brawler's bottomless Dranic intellect potion whenever you're in the brawling guild. That's that. Counterspell. This is like my juke. So, say I'm right in the middle of casting my Scorch, and my opponent is casting as well. Stops my cast, and allows me to counter. Same thing here. This is my focus counter. Stop casting. Focus poly. And this is my ice block. Stop casting. This allows me to ice block almost immediately if I need it. Then this is Juking Dragon. This basically works as a juke. Use it, press once. That stops my cast. When you're a fire mage, it's hard to stop a freaking Scorch cast. Look how easy it is to get procs. And I also got a toy attached to it where it just basically turns my fire different colors. So yeah, you press it once, it jukes, press it twice, it uses Dragon's Breath. So yeah. These other ones are not very important. These are just, this one allows me to make my mage table. It also has slash yell to it. Just goes yummy yummy mage food from me to all of you, yummy yummy mage food, my symbol of love for all of you. This basically tells everybody, hey, I'm putting down a mage table. So before we get into the stat priority, let me tell you what our mastery does. Our mastery, your target burns for additional 20.1% over 5 seconds of the total direct damage caused by your fireball, frostfire bolt, inferno blast, scorch, pyroblast, flame strike, meteor, and their multi-strikes. If this effect is reapplied, any remaining damage will be added to the new ignite. So my mastery is pretty high. So that's that. Now, our stat priority comes as follows. Intellect is number 1. Critical strike is number 2. Mastery is number 3. Haste equals multi-strike for number 4. And versatility for number 5. Now for tips and tricks. There's a lot of different tricks you can do when fighting a lot of other classes. Me personally, I like to stay defensive as possible, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to tell, but if you guys notice, if some of you have dueled me in the past, you noticed I always strafe to the right. You might have noticed that, you may have not noticed that. So basically just stay moving and you should be fine. I like scorching on the move. Now, say I'm fighting in melee. Alright, I got Ice Ward here. Basically, one of my strategies is I like to lead my opponent into a trap. If I'm practically begging my opponent, come hit me, come hit me, come hit me. Say this little dummy here hit me right now. It would freeze in place, and I would drop my meteor on it, and I would burst right then and there. Also, Dragon's Breath here is amazing for damage. That's why we got the glyph of Dragon's Breath. Now, to stay alive, it helps to be a Draenei for one. I've got Gift of Naru, which heals me for a good 11k, 11k, 22k, 11k, 11k. Yeah, that's an amazing heal. Somebody wants a port, hang on. As I was saying, stay on the move. I'll let you guys come up with a lot of your own strategies, but I love leading my opponents into a trap. Also, if you feel like your opponents are getting too close, that's what Blink and Blazing Speed are for. That and Blazing Speed is also used to get closer to your opponent whenever you want a Dragon's Breath. Say this dummy right here is a rogue, and he used Smoke Bomb. You're not able to get a freaking cast off when a rogue is in Smoke Bomb. So, what I do, I found this out by accident, by the way. What you would do is you would Blazing Speed and Dragon's Breath. You're getting right in their Smoke Bomb, and that restricts them from re-stealthing, and it does a crap ton of damage, around 40 to 50k. And I'm clothed in all blue gear. Well, almost all blue. I got a few purples. That does it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to click that like button. And if you guys want to see more content from me, make sure to click that subscribe button. And let me know down in the comments if you think I missed anything. This was my first guide. So, let me know down in the comments how you think I did, if I did Fire Mage justice at all. And until next time, you guys, keep the fire alive.